Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Vela Africana, and in this video I will be teaching you how to make these gorgeous cute baby little dresses for a 1-year-old. So let's get started quickly. You can see how full and how very wide the flared is. So I'll teach you how to make these in detail. So let's get started already. So quickly, I'm going to be imputing on my measurements. I'm starting with my shoulder measurement. I'm marking 4.5 because I'm working with a shoulder of 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5. And then for the neck width, 2 inches. For the neck depth, 2 inches. So I'm going to mark this. That's 2 inches by 2 inches. On the shoulder line, I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. I'll connect the 2 points. I'll go back to the neckline and then form a gentle curve, as you can see. After this, I'll go back to my shoulder line and then mark 5 inches. So I'm working with a chest line of 10 inches divided by 2. I have 5 inches. That's for the armhole. So the next thing I did was to mark the baby's half length, which is 6.5 plus half inch for joining, that's 7. Please, guys, ignore the line in between. It was an error. Please ignore this particular line I'm just trying to erase now. So after this, I'm going to divide the armhole line by 2. I'll just mark it. And next, on the chest line, I'm going to impute the baby's bust measurement. So the baby's bust or chest divided by 4. I'm marking it there, that's 6 inches. And then I'll just create my armhole curve like this. After that, I'll come down to the half length, the baby's half length, and what I have on the chest line, I'll put it down on the half length, the same 6 inches. Then I will now add 1 inches for seam allowance. So I'll connect the 2 points and we are done with cutting the top part of this dress. So I'll just cut through all the curve, as you can see. I'll cut through all the curve. And then I'm going to place this front piece on the fabric again to cut out the back. But remember, guys, I gave space at the back for zip allowance. And then for the neckline of this top part, that's for the back piece, I'm going to mark 1 inch. So I'm going to cut out the 1 inch. And that is it for the front and the back of this dress. So the next thing I'm going to cut now is my lining. I'm going to use this right here to turn the front and the back. So this will serve as our lining. So just place the front on the piece we just cut out, trace it out. And then I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. That's all through. Then I'll cut through my curve just like this. So this will serve as the lining for the front of this dress. Just keep watching, you will understand. So I'll place this and I'll take the lining. This is why it's a small lining. I'll place it like this and then sew on top just like this. I'll keep this aside and I'll do the same for the back. So I'm going to trace out the neckline just like this. Trace out the neckline, the shoulder. And when I'm done tracing out the neckline and the shoulder, I will then measure out 2.5 inches. Just like this. And then create the curve. When I'm done creating this curve, I'm going to cut like I did for the other one. So this will serve as a lining, just like it was for the other piece. So I'll use this to turn the neck. You can also use a bias tape if you want, but I think this is easier. So I'll just place this on just like this on the front piece, just like this, and then I'll sew through the front. So now for cutting the flag, you saw how full it was and it's a combination. I'm going to fold my fabric into 4. First into 2 and then into 4. So looking at it like this, from the edge where you have the 2 folded mouths, as you can see me open it, from that point, that's where I'm going to take my measurement. The full length of the baby's dress is 20 inches. So I'm going to use my tape and remove the half length. So I'm going to literally remove 6.5 inches and then mark out the extra. So I'll be marking out 23 inches. Just follow me. I'll be marking out 23 inches and my tape started from 6.5 inches because that is for the half length of the dress. So I'm going to mark this all through. So I'll mark the 23 inches all through and then connect the point just like this. So when I'm done, I'll now come back to the center front, to the top part, and mark out 3 inches. Remember, the full length is supposed to be 20 inches. So I'm going to minus that 3 inches. I'll take my tape and measure the curve, and it's giving me 6.5. When I multiply this by 4, it is the baby's round waist plus extra 1 inch for the zip. So the next thing I'll do is to cut it out, as you can see. So after cutting it out, I'll then bring in my black design, which is doll face fabric. I'm going to fold it into 4 like I did for the African print fabric. When I fold it into 4, I will take the flared part of the Ankara and place it on the doll face just like this. Remember, the folded part will be on the same side so you don't make a mistake. So I'll place it just equally and then I'll cut it out. When I'm done cutting this out, the next thing I'll do is to take it to my pressing board and I'll iron it. Very important to ensure that it is smooth and easy to sew. So when I'm done pressing this with my hot iron, I will then open it into 2. Just like this. I'll open it into 2 and then I'll take my scissors and divide it. So I'll cut through the line like you can see, and that means I divided this Ankara into 4. I'll do just the same thing for the doll face, that is the black fabric. I'll cut it into 4 before I begin to join them. So this is how I'm going to join it now. Right side facing each other, one black, one Ankara, then I'll sew. So let's go over to my sewing machine so I can do this quickly. So the joining is with one Ankara and one black fabric. So you can see what it's looking like already. So this is the last piece. I'll be joining this and then we go over to the table and so we can see what it looks like. So this is it, guys. You can see it's looking pretty already and it's very full. So I'll be pleating this. I'll be using a pleat to make it to the baby's accurate waist measurement. So for the front, I brought in this lace. I'm going to fold it into 2 just like you can see. I'll take the front piece, I'll place it on top so I can trace out the neckline, the shoulder, and then cut out the design for the front bodies. This is for the front. So I'm going to arrange it very well before I begin to cut it out. So quickly after cutting it out, I'll show you how to sew it. I'll open up the Ankara first to the front and then place the lace on the Ankara just like this. Then I'll bring in the lining that we cut earlier, the small lining that we cut earlier. I'm going to place it. Before sewing, I'm going to place it on top just like this and then sew all through. So after sewing this, I'll show you guys. So I'm done sewing it as you can see, and then I'm going to notch it all through. After that, it will be easier for me to turn it to the back and then iron it. After pressing this with my hot iron, you can see that it came out really smooth and nice. So we are done with the top part. Over to the back. So right now I'm going to sew the lining of the back on the back piece just like this, and after I'm done sewing, I'm going to divide it into 2. So next I'll bring the front piece and I'll take one of the back piece, place it on top, front side facing each other, and then I'll join it shoulder to shoulder. As you can see, I'm going to arrange it very well. I'll use the lining to cover the two shoulders and then sew it. So I'll do the same for the other part of the back. Remember, the opening at the back is for the zip allowance, and after I'm done joining the two shoulders, I will then put in the sleeves. So for the sleeves, I cut out this long strip of the Ankara, 15 inches long. I folded it into two and I trimmed off 1 inch just like this from the edge. Then I'll bring in the main bodice, and then from the armhole, I'm going to fix in my sleeve. So I'll notch the center of the sleeve and then I'm going to sew it in starting from the shoulder point. I will sew to the back first and then to the front. It's just going to be a straight sleeve, no pleating or no gathers. Next, I'm going to bring the two ends and then I'll join it from the sleeves to the main body using 1 inch seam allowance. I'll do the same for the other side too and show you what we have. So this is it, guys. You can see how beautiful and neat it's looking. So the next thing now, I'll go to my table and arrange it. I'm going to now bring in the flared, arrange it with the top part and then sew it. I'll first stitch 1 inch without pleating, that's for the zip, and then I'll start my pleats, just side to side pleat all through. So right now I'm pleating side to side pleats. I'm going to do this equally all through the waistline, and then I'll bring in my zip and then put my zip at the back. After putting my zip, I will then close up the back and show you guys our beautiful dress. This is our gorgeous dress, guys. You can see how perfect the lace sits. You can see how full the flared is. Please, guys, if you have gotten value from this video, please like, please subscribe, please share, and leave a kind comment. I'm going to appreciate it, guys, and it will encourage me to keep posting more dresses for babies. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Love you. And until that, see you in my next video. Bye.